Tonight's story takes us to that fragile space where survival and self collide. The quiet hours when love, shame, and desperation merge into a single, impossible choice. I was exhausted and broke. My landlord made an offer I should have refused, but I had no other option. The eviction notice sat on the nightstand like a shadow. Final warning. I hadn't shown Kevin the second notice. He was asleep, his face still carrying the trace of the man who once believed he could fix anything. But that belief had slipped away, quietly, just like our savings. 3 months behind on rent. $42.17 left in the bank. 6 years of marriage had taught us to endure storms, but this wasn't a storm. This was drowning, slow, heavy, and silent. Kevin's job disappeared during a company restructuring, and it broke something inside him. He stopped looking me in the eyes. Stopped talking about tomorrow. Stopped planning at all. I sold clothes, babysat, filled out surveys, even pawned my wedding ring. Groceries disappeared faster than promises. And the apartment seemed smaller every day, as if the walls were soaking up our fear. Then Marcus came back into our lives, our landlord, strict but not cruel, just a man who never bends the rules. That night, after Kevin had fallen into uneasy sleep, I crossed the courtyard barefoot, hoodie pulled tight, and knocked. "Jessica," he said, voice steady and unreadable. "We're behind. I just need some time," I whispered. Marcus studied me for a long moment. "Time doesn't pay bills," he said flatly. I nodded, swallowing the last of my pride. "I can start proceedings tomorrow," he added. Then quieter, this time, he mentioned another option, an unconventional solution that would clear our debt but cost me in ways I couldn't name. The tone froze me. It wasn't cruel, just certain. When I left, the night air felt sharp enough to cut. By morning, my chest ached under the weight of what I couldn't say. 11 days until eviction, maybe less. I couldn't tell Kevin, not because he wouldn't understand, but because he would. Later, Sandra called. "You sound like you're disappearing," she said. I laughed without sound. "I just need a way out," I admitted. That evening, Kevin came home with another rejection letter. "Too qualified," he muttered, slamming his fist on the table. "Maybe we should just leave," he said quietly. "Sleep in the car. Start over." "Start over with what?" I asked, but he had already gone to bed. Hours later, I sat alone in the dark, staring at our bank app. Dollar for 2.17. My thumb hovered over Marcus's number. The message I sent was 3 words. "Can we talk?" When he opened the door this time, there were no explanations left, just silence thick enough to drown in. What followed wasn't comfort. It was a transaction born of desperation, one that would clear our debt but leave me hollow inside. Afterward, I walked home through the freezing air. Kevin was asleep on the couch, breathing soft and even. I whispered into the dark, "It's over," but it wasn't. Days blurred. Food lost its taste. I told Kevin I was just tired. He smiled, wanting to believe me. A few days later, an envelope slid under the door. Inside was a statement. Balance, $0. No note, no words. Sandra called again. "You sound different," she said. "I did something," I admitted. "Did you get the money?" "Sort of." "That doesn't make you bad, Jess. It makes you human," she said softly. But I didn't feel human. I felt cracked, like glass that still holds its shape even as it splinters within. A week later, Kevin found a job: logistics. Long hours, real pay. His relief filled the apartment like sunlight. I couldn't stand beneath it. Marcus passed me once, at the mailbox. His eyes stayed forward, expression unreadable. For him, it was over. For me, it was a wound that refused to heal. That night, I stood in front of the mirror, tracing the outline of the tired woman staring back. Not ruined, not whole, just changed. And I wondered, when did surviving start to feel so much like shame?